I am Dani Bowman, founder and CEO of Danimation Entertainment and a cast member of the Netflix hit series Love on the Spectrum US. Before I begin, I just really want to say thank you to Shannon Penrod for having me be part of this amazing podcastathon tonight. I am looking forward to your questions and comments. We are live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Right Type in your comments in on any of those platforms and be part of the conversation. Next week, this program will be available as a free download wherever you get your podcasts. Anyways, tonight I will be talking about the history of how I found my passion in animation, how I started my animation company, Danimation Entertainment, and why and how we at Danimation help the autism and disability community turn their passion in animation into a career with our animation programs. So, what inspired me to pursue a career in art in the animation industry? I was never really inspired by one specific thing. I loved animation and I have been animating, drawing, and doing art ever since I can remember. I've been animating I didn't speak until I was 6, but I was doing stop motion by age 5. I would take my plush toys and a camera and take a picture, move them, take another picture, and have my family develop the film. When I would get the pictures back, I would flip them like a flip book. I didn't realize at the time I was doing stop motion. I figured out how to do this when I would rewind my VHS tapes of my favorite cartoons over and over again. I would stop at the same spot with just 1 microsecond forward. Hmm. I think my family was confused as why I kept rewinding the same film over and over again. But all I was doing was stopping at the same spot, just a microsecond forward, because I figured out that they were just drawings that were moved a little bit. So I tried to replicate that with my plush toys and a camera. So yeah, I was doing stop motion animation before I realized I was doing animation. When I got older, about 8 or 9, I started to watch behind the scene videos that showed the animation process, like the Pokemon movies, the Land Before Time series, Disney's Dinosaur, Finding Nemo, and The Lion King 1.5, which really inspired me to create my own animation projects. My family used animation as a way to reach me rather than taking it away. As a matter of fact, they encouraged it. They gave me all the tools to help me get better, and then they immersed themselves into the world of animation. And little by little, they started pulling me into their world by explaining what I needed to do to get my animation into an actual animation world, like learning proper English. It was hard for me because I also needed to learn social skills, etiquette, and all the things that I didn't want to learn. But they explained to me that I had to learn all these skills if I wanted to be a professional animator. And of course, I wanted that. So I really worked hard on it. Animation has shaped me to be who I am today, not only professionally, but also personally. For example, like many people with autism, I had a hard time understanding people's facial expressions. When I was young, I avoided eye contact because looking at people's faces used to make me feel uncomfortable. Cartoons fascinated me and made me feel comfortable because cartoon faces are easier to look at compared to the uncanny faces of real people. The colors, the personalities, and the diversity of shapes and sizes of each character made me feel comfortable. But best of all their face emotions help me relate to the emotions of people. With animation, I learned what facial expressions look like to be happy, to be sad, or to be mad. The cartoons that I loved growing up helped me understand people's facial expressions and body language and learned they are vital ways of communication. I realized there is a correlation with animated stories and people. This is one of the ways that animation has helped me throughout my journey growing up as a person with autism. Most importantly, my autism and my love of animation gave me a purpose in life, all thanks to the help of my family that pointed how animation helped me learn facial expressions and so on. It also gave me an inspiration of wanting to start an animation studio. In the same way, we people on the spectrum can be we on the spectrum can turn to our own fixations. We can turn our own fixations into a skill that can lead to a sustainable independent lives. And it's not only animation. If somebody likes trains, they can learn how to be conductors, engineers, etc. So, why and how do get started with Danimation Entertainment? I founded Danimation Entertainment in 2009 when I was 14 years old with the help of my aunt and uncle. I have been running Danimation for over 14 years, and I later started the UK branch since 2019. Hmm. It's really difficult for us to figure out the ins and outs of the real world without the right help. Remember, nobody does it alone, on or off the spectrum. Everyone needs a team, especially for those of us on the spectrum. It doesn't matter how talented we may be, we need a team. My aunt and uncle were the first ones who believed in me and supported me, even though I was just 11 years old. During that time, they were running their own business, so I thought it was normal for everyone to have their own business. I asked my aunt, how could I start my own business? She explained to me some basic details, but I don't think she took me seriously because I was just 11. To tell you the truth, I didn't realize how hard it would actually be to run a company. However, my aunt and uncle did take me seriously and helped me develop my company by helping me create a website and start prioritizing my schedule because I was just 11 years old. I didn't understand I had to finish all my schoolwork before working on my animation work because if I had my way, then I would only focus on animation. You see, they didn't tell me I couldn't do it. They just showed me what I need to do to make it happen. And by the time I entered college, I realized, yeah, not so easy. Well, ever since, I've been learning how to run a business while I'm running a business. And it can be really complicated. But I have never given up. My team and I officially launched Danimation Entertainment in 2009 when I was 14 years old. The original idea was to just be like any other animation studios, like Disney or Nickelodeon. However, in college, I encountered the grim statistics relating to autism and employment. Employment and meaningful jobs are crucial for adults with autism for several reasons, including social integration, financial independence, and personal fulfillment. Well, unfortunately, many adults with autism like me face significant barriers to employment, leading to a disproportionately high rate of unemployment and underemployment. According to the report by AJ Drexel Autism Institute, only 47% of employed adults with autism are in jobs that match their abilities and interests. Each decade, there are over 1 million people with autism leaving high school and questioning, what will I do for the rest of my life? Well, it's the grim statistics that shifted my focus, but also my personal experience in college. When it came to almost graduating, I needed internship credit in order to graduate. It was nearly impossible to do so because I was very open about my autism, and studios would never give me a chance, even though I was on top of my class and I was on the dean's list every year at my university. So I realized if I am having a hard time even getting through an interview for an internship, I could only imagine how hard it was for others on the spectrum to get internships also, which was a shame. That's why I changed my mission from being an ordinary animation studio into a social enterprise to help educate, elevate, and empower neurodivergents like me by helping them turn their passion in animation into a career that can lead to a sustainable, independent life. In 2018, I received my BFA in animation and an MBA in global strategy and leadership in 2020. And I am currently pursuing a PhD in positive developmental psychology. Well, that's ironic because the quote unquote professionals told my family I would never finish high school or make friends. They said not to expect too much from me. I wonder what they meant by that. And yes, all three of my degrees are strategically planned to help me bring my dream to life of creating and running an animation studio that helps the autism community by helping them turn their passion in animation into a career. My BFA was, of course, that's my passion because I always loved animation and dreamed about starting a company ever since I was a little kid. However, as I got older and began higher education, I realized that I needed to learn more about the business world if I was serious about starting a company. So that's why I went after my MBA. For the past 14 years, I've been also working with students with autism, trying to show them that how it is possible to go to college and pursue a career in animation or any other animation studio. However, I also realized that just because I have autism does not automatically qualify me to work with people with autism. That's why I decided to go after my PhD in positive developmental psychology, focusing on autism. And I've been accepted to Claremont Graduate University with a thesis of how recreation programs like the ones I offer can help neurodivergent community turn their passion into a sustainable career. For me, going to college helped me learn way more than I signed up for, like life skills, etiquette, and leadership, and way more social skills. You know, like the stuff our family tries to teach us, but we learn to ignore them. However, university is not for everyone, and that is okay. There are other several ways of neurodivergents like me getting an education to help develop their interest into a career. And that's where new educators come in. There's online classes, technical schools, many other ways. It's not only university, it's the recreational programs like we offer at Danimation. So, who is so who are my role models? After I started Danimation, I had several role models. They range from autism and education realm to the animation and entertainment world, starting with Temple Grandin. Many of you have heard of Dr. Grandin. She is well known today, and I believe she was the first person that was really out about her autism. And if you have seen earlier from the podcastathon, she was on early. At that time, there wasn't really anybody that was open about their neurology. While she was very open about the way she saw the world and self-aware about her strengths and limitations. When I found out she has autism and has 3 degrees, including a PhD, she inspired me that just because I have autism does not mean I couldn't get a higher education. Then there is Joey Travolta, the founder of Inclusion Films, who I met when I was 14. Not many people know that Joey actually had a degree in special education before he worked in film as an actor and director. In 2006, he produced a film called Normal People Scare Me, which brought him back to the special needs community, and he developed Inclusion Films as a practical film workshop to help the disabilities community to build social and work skills. So he inspired me to help my autism community. And speaking of, he's also the first person who believed in me when I started Danimation Entertainment in 2009. Now, turning to the people that I look up in the animation industry, there are several people like women creatives like Lauren Faust, the creator of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, Rebecca Sugar, who is the creator of Steven Universe, and Derek Neckfee, who is the creator of Star versus the Forces of Evil. Not only they inspired my art style, but they also inspired me that their shows are successful and it is possible for me to create a show like them. Even female characters can have diversified personalities because before the 1900s, there wasn't much character development in female characters. But anyways, back to the presentation. So now I will list a brief timeline in Danimation Entertainment. 2009 was when I officially launched Danimation, and in 2011, Danimation started teaching animation around the country at Joey Travolta's inclusion film camps. And in 2014, I started the Florida branch at the University of South Florida in Tampa, and growing it to North Miami in 2017 and South Miami in 2019. Also, in the same year of 2019, at Danimation started the animation camp in Los Angeles, followed by the opening of the UK branch, starting with our animation camps at the University of Plymouth in England. And in 2020, due to the pandemic, we transitioned our in person camps to Zoom, and our 101 animation classes were developed. For our 101s, we currently have over 30 students year round. In 2021, we opened the summer and winter animation workshops for the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry. And in 2022, we opened another camp in the UK at Brunel University London and 3 weeks of animation winter workshops with Pennsylvania. At Danimation, we currently employed 7 additional animation instructors who have animation degrees and are neurodivergent, working with our 101 and camp students. And over the past 14 years, I gave presentations in autism conferences, met and worked with famous people. Our students have won many awards. We've illustrated and published 6 books and premiered 11 award winning animated shorts, a PSA, and a music video at San Diego Comic Con. And my students at Danimation also participated in the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge 4 times, with the Home Office that won for Best Editor in 2021. So, what I would like to show you on my iPad is the Danimation 2020 reel, even though you cannot hear anything from the iPad though. So, let me just pull this up and cue it. Let me see here. There we go.
Are you hungry, little guy? Here, you can have my sandwich.
All of Japan feels it.
But you're so little.
This is the best party ever!
You said it!
Woohoo! Yay! Thank you very much.
Oh, sounds like the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Our Danimation YouTube page. Okay. Okay, for those of you watching this podcastathon, please send in your comments and questions to me from your social media platform you're watching from so I can answer your questions. And now back to our presentation. So recently, we have participated in the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge for the 4th time and produced a fully animated romance film called Star-Crossed Galaxies. Let me just show you the poster. So it is about 2 classmates from different worlds that share their love of astronomy. They set up a stargazing studies session outside their dorm and undergo their first time out of this world experience. So right now, what I'm holding is the poster, the promo poster for this film that is going to be released on the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge YouTube page. So the original story is made by one of my students named Natalie Hutchins and animated by a team of students at Danimation. And like the previous short films, we only had 5 days to make this short. Our short Star-Crossed Galaxies will be released on April 8th at the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge's Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channel as the beginning of the awareness campaign that will go on from the 8th to the 17th of April. We will also post a quick trailer to the at the Danimation Entertainment website, YouTube channel, and social media, so stay tuned. Later in 20 Last year in 2022, Danimation's team of neurodiverse individuals was provided the opportunity to create the opening title, interstitials, and closing credits for the SIGGRAPH Electronic Theater, a juried showcase of animation and computer graphics. It was co produced by Animal Logic and sponsored by Walt Disney Animation Studios. So I would like to hold up for my next is the opening interstitials and the closing sequence of electronic theater. So if I could just play this for you. So this is the opening title for the SIGGRAPH Electronic Theater. So as you can see, this is the opening sequence. The animators and the musician were also on the autism spectrum. And this is the closing credits for the SIGGRAPH 2022 Electronic Theater. If you could see in the credits, you could see our names of who did the music and sound and animation. So, speaking of, after I have shown SIGGRAPH Electronic Theater, following the presentation, I was approached by several studios who were interested in collaborating with me and my team of neurodivergent individuals. It was exciting to see that the studios were finally opening up to the idea of working with us, and they were eager to explore potential partnerships. I am thrilled to see that there is a growing openness and interest in collaborating with neurodivergent individuals. I am excited about the possibilities and look forward to forging partnerships that will help to create a more diverse and inclusive industry. And speaking of, also I am also currently the subcommittee member of the upcoming 2023 SIGGRAPH Electronic Theater in Los Angeles, California. For those of you who live in Los Angeles, so stay tuned for more details. So, anyways, what is Danimation and how does it help people on the spectrum turn their passion into a career? It is an animation social enterprise that educates, elevates, and empowers transitioning adults on the autism spectrum by helping them turn their passion in animation into a career. We currently offer 1 week workshops and one-on-one sessions that teaches them the animation process from concept to completion with our Learn as You Create formula. Danimation is fully inclusive because we recognize and help develop amazing talent no matter where on the spectrum our students may be. The goal is to improve employability by leveraging the students' passion for animation or other passions like writing, music, and voice acting. Our program aims to show students that they can indeed be part of the animation or film industry like their non disabled peers, and they should not limit their goal, just like I did. Students will also gain the confidence to explore different career paths in the animation industry and understanding the steps necessary to have a successful independent life. So, how does Danimation help the autism and disability community turn their passion into a career? So, first of all, we examine the students' passions, strengths, and weaknesses to help them develop their strengths as a potential key to sustainable career and independent life. For animation students, if they are great at drawing, they could become storyboard artists, character designers, background artists, and if they're great at writing, they could become storytellers and screenplay writers. And if they're good at character voices, they could become voice actors. And someone who likes to edit clips can become video editors, and so on and so forth. Then we provide classes that will help improve their strength. We have our students produce a 1 minute short film as one of the exercises to help them find what their passion is. Well, it really depends on the student's ability, but with repetition and time, it helps boost not only the student's strength, but also their confidence as well. And once we find or develop the student's strength, we put students into animation challenges, teaching them the importance of teamwork and deadlines. So, our classes help prepare our students to gain knowledge of the animation industry before entering college, and extra knowledge to help students finish university assignments that focus on animation. Now, let's talk about our services at Danimation. So, we offer 1 week and after school workshops. The workshop participants engage in educational activities aimed specifically at inclusion, dedication, and teamwork in either a 5 day or slower 5 paced 5 week animation production to create their own 30-second animated short film from concept to completion. Throughout the workshop, the students are introduced to the 12 principles of animation, including the bouncing ball, animation software tool basics, and the importance of meeting production deadlines. And Danimation also includes voice acting lessons from many guest voice actors. And second is the Dani Academy 101 sessions. And to keep our students engaged throughout the year, we provide hourly 101 sessions where each student have the opportunity to improve their animation skills while producing animation short films that could be shown at film festivals. The animation instructors can share their educational and career journeys and lead participants in an activity related to the field. Students who participate in the 101 sessions would also be encouraged to collaborate in the animation studio productions. All of the free introductory classes and hourly 101 sessions are currently held virtually via on the Zoom platform. And lastly, our studio production, where we have students from our 1 week workshops and 101 sessions to be part of our production team in commercial and animation contests. That will help students learn how to work in teams and meet deadlines. So, I would like to show you on my iPad two examples of the students that I help turn their passion into a career. And the first one I would like to show you on the left is Peyton Hepler from North Carolina. The one right here, she's one of our students from our 101 sessions. In the beginning, when she first enrolled at our 101 sessions in the spring of 2022, we could see her passion and talent, but she struggled with communication and understanding the animation process. Since then, we helped her develop and finish several of her animation projects. And last year, she has participated in one of the animation contests that I invited her to enter, the Toon Boom Dance Party Underground Funkatronic. She had she has become so confident that she was able to enter this contest, follow instructions, and enough to be accepted to be part of this contest. It can be nerve wracking to try to enter a contest like this, but she did it. Here's her character that she animated, known as Buttercup Bear. So you can watch the 2022 Toon Boom Animation Dance Party Underground Funkatronic on the Toon Boom Animation YouTube channel. She's the one who animated Buttercup Bear, as you could see on my iPad. Peyton is also the one who animated the opening and credits for our fourth Easter Seals film that I mentioned earlier, Star-Crossed Destinies. So I would like to hold it up again. So again, Star-Crossed Destinies will be released on April 8th on the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge YouTube channel. Once it's released, you could see this lovely logo animation from Peyton. This animation contest and the Disability Film Challenge are examples of how I help students like Peyton turn their passion in animation into a career that can lead to a career in animation. She is now currently in production on an animation short film that will be shown at film festivals. Then we have one of our current instructors. She was also one of our she was a student. This is Phoebe Clark from Plymouth, England, from our Danimation UK camp. In 2019, she was one of our students from the in-person Danimation UK camp at the University of Plymouth. After she has taken several one-on-one sessions with us in 2020, she became so confident that she is now one of our instructors, teaching animation to students on the autism spectrum like herself. And most recently, with our recommendation, she got accepted to an animation program at Portsmouth University. We are proud of her. Now, for anyone, especially for neurodivergent and people on the which means people on the autism spectrum or other disabilities watching this podcastathon, how can you turn your passion into a career? So remember, it doesn't have to be film or animation, it can be anything. But we have to push ourselves because nobody's going to do it for us. That is where we begin our journey. So, lastly, here are 8 important tips on how you can get started. So, first of all, if you would like to start your own venture, remember, your age does not matter. However, you must understand from the beginning that it's going to be a lot of hard work. And be patient because when you do what you love, the money will come eventually. Second, it's okay to ask for help because you're an adult doesn't mean you don't get help. Like I said, nobody does it alone. Get a strong team behind you of people that really believe in you and your mission. And third, get out of your comfort zone because nobody's going to do it for you. That's part of growing up. There is a difference between getting help from people and depending on people to do things for you. That's why diligence and organization are the keys to a successful independent life. Also, remember, apply what you learn. If you are striving to get a degree based on your passion, it's more than just getting straight A's in class. However, don't fear failure. Everyone fails at one time or another. That is part of the learning process. No matter how bad you may feel failing, you must keep trying as long as you can. Also, don't compare yourself to others. Everyone has different career paths. That is the reason why you must find your passion first and always be grateful for what you already have, and you will attract more good things. Take advantage of many networking opportunities depending on your passion and field. Take classes outside of high school based on your passion and go to conferences and events. And most importantly, don't listen to the naysayers. Just because they said you cannot do this or you cannot do that, just look straight in the eyes. Well, not the eyes exactly. The eyes are still uncanny to me. Just look straight at them and say, yes, I can and I will. Just watch me. Remember, anything is possible. If I can turn my passion into a career, so can you. And if you know of someone on the autism spectrum who would be interested in taking the free introduction to animation class, I have this QR code set and ready, or you can go to dannyacademy.com/free so that way you could be able to sign up. So I have the QR code if anyone is interested. So I have it right here. So this is the QR code if anyone's interested. So I'm holding it up. Remember, anything is possible. If I can turn my passion into a career, so can you. Danimation is igniting the magic within by building a unique animation team of tomorrow. And it starts by helping the disability community elevate their self esteem, creative talent, and employability today. So join the Ignite the Magic movement. So now what I will be doing is since it's 9:36 and we're almost in a half hour, so this is so okay, so 9:40 is when we're having last call for comments. Okay, last call for comments. And I'm just right now going to read your conversations. So we've got comments from Eric Levitt saying, "That's interesting. I love it." Yay from Carol Corey. Spencer Griffith. Voice acting was the first time I did at Spec Labs in 2017. That's how I first met Jason. Well, I remember you, Spencer. It's good. It's been a long time since we chatted, Spencer. And 2015 was when I worked with Spectrum Laboratory with their first animation program known as the Saturday Animation Workshop. I remember those old times, Spencer. Okay, Caroline Corey says, yes, La La Land. I'm in Culver City in California. In social in LA, Danny. I get so many comments that people are saying, yay, LA. Eric Levitt says, Disney would love to have you in this. They would approve this. And Caroline says, Danny, talk about what you've worked on with Spec Labs. Okay, that's good, Caroline. So with Spectrum Laboratory, if remember I I worked on a short film with in collaboration with Spectrum Laboratory. I worked on the animation sequences for Boys Don't Wear Dresses. So for anyone who has heard of Boys Don't Wear if anybody has heard of Boys Don't Wear Dresses, it's a live action short film that is mixed with animation and it's LGBTQ. So Spec Labs just put up an invitation that they're going to be showing Boys Don't Wear Dresses on Saturday, April 15th at 6 p.m. in Santa Monica. So if Spec you could just look more so this is so excellent. Okay. And let's see here what else we've got here. Spencer. Spencer Griffith says, that's cool. She seems to like a fun person. Were the first person. Her and Faith Butterfield were the first people I met in Spec Labs before I set foot in real life. I've known both via Facebook since roughly in mind. And yes, Faith Butterfield is one of my students as well. And Caroline says, I'm also open to a Q&A to answer your questions, okay? So, yeah, I remember Danny was working for voice as yeah, I did on several voice acting. Remember the voice acting session with Tom Kenny, Caroline? Tom Kenny was also a guest star on Boys Don't Wear Dresses as well. He's also known as the famous voice of SpongeBob SquarePants. Let's see. We've got only encountered Danny twice in real life so far. Not sure if she's been to Spec Labs concerts, at least not the ones I've been so far. But let's see. Let me check for the questions. But as I'm reading the comments, this is amazing. This needs to be Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, HBO Max. Let me look at the Q&A stuff. So here, let me look down to the Q&A. Okay. Spencer's got a question. What is your favorite form of animation? Well, my favorite form of animation is 2D digital animation because I felt that 2D animation is my favorite method I I use Tube Room Animation to do my software. It's very comfortable. Whereas I also tried out other software. I've also tried different mediums of animation like stop motion and CGI animation, but they're completely different animals. There are pros and cons between 2D animation. Oh, Eric's got another question. How long have you been doing Danimation? Well, 14 years. I've been running Danimation ever since 2009. Additionally, what are your thoughts about how 3D animation has been more prevalent than 2D animation from the roughly 2010s and onwards? Well, 2D and CGI animation have found two different niches. While 3D animation works better for feature length films, 2D animation works better for television animation. So there is a benefit for CGI animation because the benefit for feature length CGI animation is that you have people take more time to focus on the artistic look of what the CGI animated movie looks like. Whereas in 2D animation, it's more economical. It's not only it's way more economical, it's very fast paced. So people who are working on a television animation production have to work on a simpler and faster way of producing an animated series because CGI would take even longer to produce for a television series than a 2D animated production. Are adults with high functioning autism like me be able to do classes? I'm 36 and looms for fun. If you like, if anyone who is over 36 years old, we do take exceptions and we do take a look at animation portfolios to see what skill needs to be developed. Putting the comments down, I am hold while everybody's putting up the comments down, just in case if I have the QR code. If anyone wants to scan for the go for the free class. If anyone's interested. Hmm. Let's see here. What we have. Let's see what we got in the comments below. Okay, so Autism Slide says Eric Levitt, for anyone that is curious, Eric Levitt has been watching all day. I've been the producer for the last 13 hours and he has definitely been most active. Thanks for hanging with us. Oh, no problem, Autism Live. And I've been seeing your question and yes. And yes, Shannon, I've been seeing your question I've been seeing his questions popping up every single time. So I've got another question from Eric. He says, "Have you done animation yourself?" Well, yes, duh. I've worked on so many animations myself with the short films like Mr. Raindrop, The Namazu, Hannah Lost Her Smile, Airburst the Sword of Doom, Pelican Peanut Bird is Born, and I've got Somebody Needs You, Hide and Shriek, The Audition, then the Indiana Cheese Muncher, which is the first short film that I helped Zoe Ramos animate and supervise, and our Animated Minds, where we had animation collaboration, which is a doc from the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge, then the Home Office, then Super Nacho Supreme, Parker and Boo, and I've got in the most recent release, Star-Crossed Galaxies. I've done animation and yes, I've been doing animation myself for over 14 years. Another question. Okay. Would comedy improv work with animation? I love comedy and improv. Well, it really depends on the context. I myself am trying to do comedy, but my biggest weakness is making any comedy or any improv doing humor on purpose, trying to make everybody laugh. I attempt trying, but I fail. What is it like to be on Love of the Spectrum? Okay, that's a good question. That's a really good question, Griffin. Just to be brief as possible, just to be brief as possible, as I am going to say my answer. That Love of the Spectrum for me is a fun experience. It's definitely a fun experience. And I'm so happy about when I was first approached with the original Australian hit series. I was pleasantly surprised of how the show portrayed people on the spectrum in an authentic, positive light. It became one of my favorite Netflix shows because it showed me some potential that people on the spectrum can find love and eventually get married. And when the filming process began, I was nervous about the dating process, especially a blind date. However, the film made me feel comfortable about the filming process, enabling me to be my true authentic self. They also allowed me to take breaks anytime I needed. They would work around my schedule and film whenever I was available, giving me plenty of notice before shooting. And for those of you who are aware, Love on the Spectrum US has recently renewed for season two. So be on the lookout for season two of Love on the Spectrum US on Netflix. Okay. Hi, Danny. What animated film could you relate to the most growing up? Well, Seth, that's a really tough question for me. There's so many animated feature films that I relate to growing up. I would say the Pokemon franchise movies were something I grew up watching. Plus, I've watched several movies like Wreck-It Ralph. I got a whole list like Nomi and Juliet, Wreck-It Ralph, Mitchell's versus the Machines, and Encanto. Those are my several favorites, just to name a few. And would any of these movies that Danimation made be on any of the streaming platforms? Well, maybe someday if we could get a animated special produced for any streaming platform like Apple TV Plus or Netflix or any s- any of the streaming platform, that would be amazing. But maybe someday I am definitely open to that idea, Eric. That's a great question. Okay, so we've only got about 11 minutes before time is up. So, so I'm just gonna right now just so before the time is okay. Let's see. What else do I have? Let's see if I what else do we have here? We have 10. Okay, we've got about 10 minutes left. So put in your comments if put in your Q&A comments so we still got plenty of time for some of your comments, your Q&A. Since I've got plenty of time, I would like to show you a brief trailer of one of my short films, The Home Office. So, from the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge, the Home Office trailer. So, I'm just going to play you a. So, what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm just going to be playing you a trailer from The Home Office, the making of Cartoon HQ, just to. If for anyone who hasn't viewed my YouTube channel, let me see. Let's see here. I'm just going to. The or I can just show you a funny clip while everyone's putting their questions down. Oh, I sent you to follow Facebook, Instagram. Oh, we got the home office. Great, thank you, Shannon. You saved the show, Shannon. Thank you.
Attention! You lily livers are here to sell and produce cartoons. Do not forget your mission, soldiers. I don't want to see any.
Ohio, gomenasai.
Go get in uniform immediately, Private. As I was saying, my assistant Mindy will be making the rounds for performance evaluations today, so shape up or you'll be shipped out. Now where the hell's my damn coffee?
Here you go, sir. Woo!
Drop and give me 20!
He's a really tough boss. But it's doing wonders for my biceps.
Yes, we're thinking a full-blown comic book series. Yes, starring yours truly, of course. 1,000 copies? You got it! Stay super. Alright, today's performance reviews will be a breeze. I hold the company record in sales, and I've been Employee of the Month every month since I started here.
Wonderboy thinks he's got this performance review in the bag, but little does he know, I've got the evil scheme of the century up my sleeve.
First up for evaluation, accounting. Have you started balancing the budget yet, Marco?
Yes, ma'am. Just a few more numbers to punch in. I'm a real close to leveling up, and if I wanted that promotion, I got to raise the roof.
I'm pretty sure punching the ceiling like this is costing the company money.
Hello, me.
I shall steal his best clients.
I'm not worried. I knew he'd try to steal my contact list. That's why I planted all those dot numbers. He's gonna spend the afternoon calling pizza places. It's gonna be hilarious.
What do you mean pick up? You're the one who picked.
There's breakfast in the break room.
What in the name of crappy confectionery is this? We don't eat these sorts of weak physique treats in my platoon. I'll be confiscating that. Now, everyone, get back to work!
I'd better report to the boss. Sir?
What have I told you about knocking, Private? That's it! I'm sending all you sorry excuses for staff to human resources!
No, anything but that.
No one ever comes back from HR.
Darn it! Technical issues again.
Hey, Danny.
Hello.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Danny.
Hey, Danny.
How's that ending scene coming?
I ran into a bug, but we are almost there.
Awesome.
Okay. You can send me the files so I can finish it up for you.
Thank you so much, Morgan. That would help.
Nice
Well,
work.
great
No
work, you
problem.
guys. Everything's really coming together, especially my villain scene.
You could see these. There were 12 of us, 9 of us who have autism that worked on this amazing short film. You can watch the Home Office on the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge YouTube. You can watch the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge, the Home Office, on YouTube page. Sorry, I screwed up the words. Let me just say it again. You can watch the Home Office at the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge YouTube page. Okay, we only have about 5 minutes left, so does anybody have any further questions? Put in your comments down. We've got about 5 minutes left. Here is a little while I'm waiting for last minute comments, here is a little short. You can take your videos from good. Sorry about that. But I would like to show you a funny animation that I did for you can imagine me kissing dogs with you can imagine I've been kissing many frogs to find the right guy. Here's this little short animation I did for Love on the Spectrum. Oops, let me just turn the volume up. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, so let me check if we have one more question. So, yeah, that was in the Home Office. That was my voice of Mindy from the Home Office, the clown character that you saw, where she slipped over when she was trying to deliver the coffee to the manager. And Spencer says, "Oh, I think I've seen this one. That was a good one." Oh yes, because I remember this one won for Best Editor. Okay, says we only have about 3 minutes before we end our time. About 3 minutes left. So we only have about 3 minutes left before we end. So before I close this hour, to learn more information on Danimation, go to www.danimationentertainment.com. You can follow me on social media under Dani Bowman and Danimation Entertainment on Facebook and LinkedIn, Danimation ENT on Twitter, Dani Bowman 1 on Instagram and TikTok. Or you can just Google me. And if you haven't seen the show, Love on the Spectrum US, Season 1 is out now on Netflix, and Season 2 is coming soon. Thank you again to Shannon Penrod for having me be part of this hour of your amazing podcastathon. And this is Dani Bowman signing off.